Hey, everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive. You know how we do it here. We're diving headfirst into a new corner of the tarot today.
Always exciting to see what we uncover.
Right, and this time it's all about the Empress card.
The Empress. Such a powerful archetype.
She really is, and we're going beyond those surface-level interpretations you might find in a simple tarot card meanings cheat sheet.
We're going deep?
Exactly. We've got excerpts from a bunch of different sources, classic tarot guides, Wikipedia, even a blog post to get a real 360 view of her history and all her different interpretations.
I think it's fascinating to see how these sources, even though they might be looking at the Empress from different angles, come together to paint this really vivid picture.
Totally. Okay, so first things first. Who is the Empress?
Well, one of our sources describes her as the embodiment of femininity, motherhood, abundance.
Okay, so like nurturing, supportive vibes.
Exactly. She's the ultimate nurturer.
Yeah.
But, and here's where it gets interesting, her influence goes way beyond just one culture or tradition.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's super closely tied to this archetype of the Earth Mother, a goddess of fertility, ruling a world of love, harmony, and get this, luxury.
Ooh, luxury. Okay, now you've got my attention. But, you know, while we're talking about different interpretations, I noticed something kind of interesting.
What's that?
Well, you know how in a lot of tarot decks, the Empress is depicted as pregnant?
Yeah, it's a pretty common image.
Right. But then you have the Rider-Waite deck, which is like the iconic tarot deck.
Right.
And she's not pregnant in that one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You're right. It just goes to show even the most iconic imagery can have multiple interpretations. And that's something we'll be keeping in mind throughout this whole deep dive.
Absolutely. Staying open to those nuances is key.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, so speaking of imagery, can we talk about how the Empress is actually depicted in the cards?
Oh, yeah. She's practically dripping in symbolism.
Right. Like she's always surrounded by nature, usually wearing a crown, holding a scepter.
And that stunning robe.
Don't even get me started on the robe.
It's all very deliberate, though. Those visual cues aren't just for show. They amplify her message of abundance, power.
Yeah. I remember reading about this, like the throne symbolizes stability.
Exactly. And the crown, often adorned with stars, points to her connection to the cosmos.
And the scepter. Talk about a symbol of authority over the natural world.
Precisely. And we can't forget about the pomegranates often seen on her robe.
Oh, yeah. Those are everywhere.
Bursting with symbolism, those are?
Yeah.
Traditionally, they represent fertility and abundance.
All so intricate.
It really is.
Yeah.
And even the landscapes she's depicted in, with the flowing rivers and the fields of wheat.
Right. All emphasizing that sense of nourishment and prosperity.
She's totally in her element. But you know what I find really fascinating? How her representation has actually transformed over the centuries.
Transformed? Really?
Yeah. According to Wikipedia, back in 15th century Europe, the Empress was more a symbol of, like, temporal power. Yeah, like a queen ruling her kingdom.
Oh, interesting.
It wasn't until the Renaissance that she really took on this nurturing mother archetype that we tend to associate her with today.
Wow, that's a pretty significant shift.
It is. And I think it speaks to how classical and Christian influences blended together to shape her symbolism.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, she even became linked to the Egyptian goddess Isis.
No way.
It's true. It's like she's this fascinating tapestry of all these different cultures' beliefs about feminine power and creation.
I love that.
And then, of course, there's her connection to the planet Venus and the number 3.
Right. Which adds yet another layer to her story.
Exactly.
I mean, Venus is all about love, beauty, creativity, which, tracks perfectly with the Empress's whole vibe.
Absolutely. And number 3, often linked to growth, expansion, creation, further solidifies her role as this life-giving force.
Okay, so we've got a pretty good grasp on her history, what she represents, but how do we actually interpret all of that when she pops up in a reading?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right. It's got to be about more than just like, congratulations, you're having a baby. Although, I mean, I guess that could be part of it.
Well, you're right to think there's more to it than that, although fertility can certainly be a theme.
Okay, good to know.
In his book, The Pictorial Key to the Tarot, he describes the Empress as earthly paradise.
Earthly paradise. Okay, I like that.
A symbol not just of fruitfulness, but also of action and initiative.
Okay, I see that. Like, she's the fertile ground where you can plant seeds and watch new beginnings flourish.
Exactly. But, like any good gardener knows, even the most fertile ground needs tending.
Ooh, okay. You're saying there's a flip side to all this abundance.
There always is. Weight also connected the Empress with difficulty, doubt, and ignorance when her card appears reversed in a reading.
Wait, back up. For those of us who are new to tarot, what does it mean when a card is reversed?
Oh, great question. Basically, when a card is dealt upside down reversed, it suggests a blockage or challenge related to that card's energy.
Okay, so in the case of the Empress reversed, it might be a sign that something's preventing that natural flow of abundance and creation.
Exactly, like a cautionary message reminding us that even the most nurturing energy needs balance and direction.
That makes total sense. It's like anything else, right? Too much of a good thing can backfire.
Precisely. Imagine a garden that's been completely neglected. Even with the most fertile soil, it's not going to yield a bountiful harvest, is it?
Not at all. Okay, so we've talked about her overall energy, but what about the Empress in specific areas of life, like love and career? What messages might she have for us there?
Well, in a love reading, the Empress often symbolizes a stable, sensual, and committed relationship. She's all about nurturing those close connections.
That makes sense. Her energy just screams stability and warmth. And it's not just about existing relationships, right? The Empress can also be a sign of new beginnings, like starting a family. Or deepening a commitment you've already made.
Absolutely. Well, it's important not to limit ourselves to those, literal interpretations.
Yeah, right.
She definitely embodies that creative life force in all its forms.
So it's almost like she's giving you the green light, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead, take that next step, whatever that looks like for you.
Exactly. She's encouraging us to embrace growth and expansion in our relationships.
I love that. Okay, now what about career? Does our girl have any wisdom to share in that department?
Absolutely. The Empress in a career reading, it often points to creativity, abundance, a supportive work environment.
Okay, those are all good things.
Right. She's reminding us that we deserve to feel fulfilled and inspired by our work.
Yes. No more settling for soul-sucking jobs, please.
Right. It's about aligning our passions with our professions, creating a life of purpose and abundance.
Love it. But what if someone's, feeling creatively stuck in their career? They're not living up to their full potential?
That's where the Empress's shadow side can come into play.
Oh, right.
Remember how we were talking about her reverse card, signifying blockages?
Yeah.
So in a career context, that might look like creative blocks, dependence on others, feeling trapped in a rut.
So she's urging us to, examine what might be holding us back from our true calling.
Precisely.
Interesting.
She might be suggesting we explore new ways to express our unique talents, or even seek out a more nurturing, more supportive work environment.
That's so interesting how those potential pitfalls all tie back into that need for balance that we were discussing earlier.
Exactly. It's all connected.
Okay, so we've covered love, career. What about the Empress's message for personal growth?
Oh, yeah.
Because it feels like she has a lot to say about self-care, connecting with our inner selves.
You're absolutely right. In many ways, the Empress is like the queen of self-care.
Okay, yes.
She reminds us that we can't pour from an empty cup.
It's so true.
It's not just about bubble baths and face masks, though.
Although those are great.
Oh, they are. But it's about prioritizing the things that replenish our spirits, whether that's spending time in nature, pursuing a creative hobby, or just simply allowing ourselves to rest.
It's about connecting with that inner source of abundance.
Yeah.
And nurturing ourselves on a soul level.
Beautifully said. And let's not forget about the power of gratitude.
Oh, yes.
Gratitude. The Empress reminds us to appreciate the abundance that already surrounds us, whether it's the love of our family and friends, the beauty of nature, or even just the simple joys that make life worth living.
Such a good reminder. It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and forget to appreciate all the good stuff.
It really is. But taking those moments to connect with gratitude, it can be incredibly powerful.
Totally.
It shifts our perspective and allows us to tap into the Empress's energy of abundance more fully.
Okay, so say someone's feeling disconnected from their personal power, they're not embracing their full potential.
Yeah.
What would the Empress say to them?
She might encourage them to explore their feminine energy more deeply.
And just to clarify, that's not just for women, right?
And you're
they
right.
all have both masculine and feminine energy within us.
We do. And in many spiritual traditions, feminine energy is associated with intuition, creativity, emotional depth, receptivity.
Okay, I see that.
It's about embracing those qualities within ourselves, regardless of gender, and allowing them to flow freely.
So it's like tapping into that inner wellspring of creativity and intuition that we all possess.
Precisely.
I love that. Now I'm curious, when we do embrace that Empress energy, what kind of impact can that have on our lives, our relationships.
Oh, it can be truly transformative. You know, when we nurture ourselves and our creativity, we become more magnetic, more confident, more radiant.
Love it.
And that energy, it spills over into our relationships, attracting more love, abundance, and joy into our lives.
Okay, I'm sold. Empress energy, activate.
I love your enthusiasm.
But before we wrap up this royal deep dive,
Yeah.
any final words of wisdom from our resident tarot guru?
I'd say just remember, the Empress, she's just one archetype
Right.
in this huge tapestry of the tarot. Right?
It's a big world in there.
It is.
So many archetypes to explore.
Her message is powerful, but it's just one piece.
Of the puzzle.
Exactly.
You got it.
And the real magic.
Mm-hmm.
It happens when we take these insights and we weave them into our own journeys.
Oh, I love that. It's not about blindly following someone else's interpretation.
Right.
It's about using these symbols, these archetypes, as a springboard
Yes.
for self-discovery.
Exactly. It's like the tarot's this mirror,
Oh, yeah.
reflecting our own inner wisdom back at us,
Okay, yeah.
helping us to see ourselves more clearly.
And the Empress, with all her abundance and nurturing and creative power.
Oh, absolutely.
She's like, here you go. Step into your full potential.
She's a wise, loving guide,
She is.
encouraging us to embrace all parts of ourselves.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of the Empress, what's the key takeaway? What's that one juicy nugget of wisdom you want to leave our listeners with today?
I want everyone listening to think about
Yeah.
how the Empress archetype might be showing up in your life.
Ooh, good one.
Are you embodying that nurturing, abundant energy?
I love that.
Or are there places in your life where you could benefit from connecting more deeply
Yeah.
with this archetype?
Like a personal invitation to check in with how we're nurturing ourselves and our dreams.
Exactly.
I love that.
Maybe it means prioritizing self-care.
Mm-hmm. So important.
Maybe it's about exploring your creativity.
Yes.
Maybe it's just about appreciating the abundance that's already there.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
She's reminding us that we are deserving of love, joy, and fulfillment.
In all areas of life.
Yes, in all areas.
She's given us so much to think about today. I feel like, if anything, she's given us permission
Yes.
to really step into that inner queen energy.
Yeah.
But with a side of compassion
Yes, always.
and a whole lot of self-love.
I love that. That's beautiful.
This has been incredible. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of the Empress.
It's been my pleasure.
And to everyone listening, until next time, may you all find your own unique paths to abundance, creativity, and self-discovery.